afternoon, everybody. Human versus machine. 1997. We all know this story. Deep Blue beats Kasparov, the world champion at chess. So, human versus machine. It's 2011, and IBM Watson wins at the game of Jeopardy. Again, human versus machine. And in 2017, Google DeepMind managed to beat Lee Sedol, the world champion at the very complicated strategic game of Go. Again, human versus machine. So different periods of time, very different levels of complication of the algorithm, but still the same narrative. We always hear about human versus machine. But is it really the narrative we need to talk about when we talk about artificial intelligence? Or should we instead talk about a partnership between human and the machine? Because after all, we need to bear in mind that artificial intelligence is a tool that is created by humans, and it's created to help humans. So maybe if we change the narrative, if we change the way we look at this very powerful tool that can do incredible stuff for us and for our society, we can really build the future we want to see with artificial intelligence among us. But how can we do it? What's the society we want to see with artificial intelligence? So we at Impact School developed a sort of a framework in order to remember all the important stuff we need to know when we talk about artificial intelligence. It's called Adapt Wisely. So the world is changing. Everything is happening very fast. And artificial intelligence is one of the agents of this change. So, of course, probably we need to adapt to these changes, but we need to do it wisely. And also, the important things about these two words is that they stand for 11 concepts we need to bear in mind when we talk about artificial intelligence. So the adapt part stands for 5 things we need to bear in mind talking about the impact of artificial intelligence on our society. And wisely stand for 6 concepts about human-machine interaction, which is also something about human-human interaction, because we will see changes a lot also that in the future. So let's see what it's all about. So the first word stands for accountability. This is one of the most important things we need to have when we talk about artificial intelligence. We need an accountable artificial intelligence. Of course, if we want to use it among all society, we need to build trust among citizens and consumers, institutions. And how do we build trust if we don't know who is responsible for what an artificial intelligence or a machine is doing? After all, they are agents. They are interacting by their own. So, of course, accountability is one of the most important things. This stands for divide, but I would like to think that it should stand for distribute equally. After all, artificial intelligence is a tool, is technology. And just like all other technologies we invented through the history of humans, well, it can create division, because, of course, who has access to artificial intelligence or to writing or to fire, printing, has a huge competitive advantage compared to those who don't have access to it. But the thing is, artificial intelligence is a very powerful tool. So we need to know that everybody can access to all the positive impacts that can come from artificial intelligence. More efficient systems and institutions, better cure for our disease, personalized treatments in medicines, and so on. We don't want society to look like this, where someone is still living in the past and someone is living in the future. The other A stands for a trap we need to be aware of, which is autocracy. Because, of course, big data and artificial intelligence are great tools that can, but shouldn't, be used to gain power, and maybe also to deprive citizens of their freedom. And again, probably this is not the kind of society we want to build for our future. And the P stands for consumers. So in the autocracy trap, we had to look out for our citizens. Now we are looking out for our consumers. They are both threatened by the use that we can make of artificial intelligence. So the other paradigm is to use it to gain more data, analyze them, to gain power over our consumers and more revenues. But still, we need to also know that consumers are safe. Luckily, European Union is doing a good job in this field. So we are in the right place also geographically speaking. So let's switch to the T, transparency. And this is very important for both privacy and the autocracy trap. Because, of course, it all comes also to transparency for consumers and citizens. The thing is that with artificial intelligence, we are not always aware of what is going on. There are some very smart new algorithms that can explain themselves. And this probably should be the standard that we want to have in our society, so that we can reverse engineer how the decision was made and the solutions were found, thanks to transparency. And also, if we are using, for example, an autonomous car, we want to know how it works, also as a consumer. So we have the right to know. And also, some of this is already in our GDPR and in the UK, so we are already working in that direction, but it's very important not to forget it. And let's start with the wisely word. And I'm very happy to start with the word of women, because it's a very big revolution, the one we are looking at. And it's a revolution where women should be on board. In all different aspects that are also written on the slide here. First of all, the work environment should be welcoming women equally, in the same way that we include men in artificial intelligence. Not only because this is the society we want to see, but also because otherwise we will not have enough people to fill all those jobs that are coming in the next years. So do we want Europe to stay behind just because we don't have enough people that are trained to work in all these new sectors that are coming from artificial intelligence? Probably not. So let's take also women on board. And also, I have to say, the only spot that is always filled by women, somehow female, in artificial intelligence looks like it is the name we give to our artificial intelligent assistants, right? You know, Alexa, Eliza was the first chatbot in history, and so on. Is this what we want to continuously think about what's the spot in jobs for women? Maybe we should build gender-free artificial intelligent assistants, maybe something to think about. So the I stands for imitation. So we have machines that are moving around, so we think that maybe somehow they can make us react like they are animals, they are alive. And if they are cute enough, we also start behaving it like it is a puppy or a baby. We change the way we talk. That's something that our body does. And you say, OK, maybe we can just build artificial intelligence and machines that, they don't look cute, so we don't have this problem. We are not fooled by the machine. But actually, this is not true. This is the tricky part. They are talking to us. They are interacting. And again, we have this problem. We can be fooled by artificial intelligence and by machines. And if you think it's not possible, actually, it happened with the first chatbot in history. And it still happens right now. This is a review from a consumer talking about Alexa and saying he wouldn't go out with friends because he can stay at home and talk to a wireless Amazon Echo, So it happens. You can be fooled. The S here stands for common sense. This is a very important thing. Something that we were not able in the last years and we are not able to do today is to teach machines common sense. And this is a very important thing in our decision-making process. So knowing that machines cannot have common sense, we should also know which are the decisions that machines can make by themselves and which are those decisions that still stays with the human part in the partnership. So let's remember this so that we can build an artificial intelligence that makes the decisions we want. Also because we need to educate algorithms. Remember I said they're made by humans and for humans. When there is a learner, there is always a teacher. And sometimes when we speak about artificial intelligence, we just speak about the learning part. And if the algorithm does something wrong, the fault is on the algorithm. But it is not, actually. We are those who are setting the example for the algorithm. We are the humans who are behind the data that are given to the algorithm to learn. So probably we should talk about machine teaching, not machine learning. And again, responsibility. It's our responsibility to do that. We have a great opportunity right now. We can build a new paradigm for artificial intelligence that is not the autocratic one. It is not the private big tech companies one. It's a human-centered vision about AI in our society. We can do it here in Europe. We still can do it here in Italy. We can work towards that direction. But everybody, everyone and each of us is responsible for that. And we can do it. You have to do it yourself, too. Doesn't matter if you are a student, a manager, or whatever is your role in society, you still can do something. First of all, you can just ask yourself, what are the skills that you want a human to bring to the table when we talk about the partnership between humans and machines, and which are the skills that can come from the machine, so that we can build that partnership together and be able to make society better thanks to that partnership. And of course, if you have the power to change the path in the direction you want to see for artificial intelligence and its use in our society, of course, please bear in mind that we can lead our country to be a protagonist in this great revolution, and we can do it with this new human-centered approach. Thank you.